Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf, Kesubos Peitet, number 89. The Gemara on Peitet Amud Beis asks a fundamental question. The Gemara says, Almana min Eris, how do you know she's entitled to 100 or 200? 100 she's a Ba'ula, 200 she's a Psula, right? We have two proofs the Gemara brings, Mishnah and Dalit, a famous Bryce. However, the Gemara rejects both of those proofs by saying that maybe it's talking about a case where he wrote a ksuba for her, meaning he wrote, I owe you money, and it's like a ksuba has the same validity as a loan document, right? Someone writes a shtar, I owe you $200, so that's a loan document, same thing as a ksuba. However, the Gemara's question, if there was no written ksuba, how do you know she's entitled to it? Amana mina erisin, right? Mina erisin, mina nasuin, right? If they got married already, so we know, of course, based on marriage, you get a ksuba, you get 100 or 200. However, I'm going to erase and where you know she gets that. So the Gemara doesn't answer the question. The Gemara doesn't have a proof, but I believe the reason the Gemara doesn't try to answer it even more is because really the Gemara already answered this in the Peitet Amud Aleph, where the Gemara is machlokes in Rav and Shmuel. What is the case of our Mishnah? Our Mishnah says if a woman is divorced, right, and she comes to court and she says, I only have a get. So the Mishnah says she collects her ksuba. She says the ksuba I don't have. Where the ksuba is, the Gemara discussed this. She doesn't have the ksuba. She's able to collect the ksuba. If she says I only have the ksuba and I lost the get, and the husband says where's the get, right? So according to, if it's not shas hakana, she doesn't collect the ksuba. That's how Shmuel understands our Mishnah. Rav had an original understanding of Mishnah. I think it was Chozer, but when he said doesn't make a difference. Whether the minhag is to write a ksuva or not write a ksuva, our Mishnah makes perfect sense, right? If she produces the get, she doesn't collect the whole thing, right? The ksuba consists of the basic payment, 100 for almana, 200 for a psula, and then in tosefes ksuba you can add on more. Sometimes you add on more. You like your wife, you give her extra for the ksuba. So if you just produce the get, you get the bare minimum. If you produced just the ksuba, so it's not that you wouldn't get anything, you get the tosefes, but you wouldn't get the main part of the ksuba. And that's how he explains our Mishnah. And even though the Mishnah seems to say if she produces the ksuba, she doesn't get anything, the Gemara on Peitet Amud Beis says Chasur and Mechzra, and really we're talking about that she would get the tosefes, but not get the main. So even if she'll produce the get in one base, then she'll get the main part, the $200, and then she'll produce the ksuba in another base, so we don't have to be worried about that because she's getting whatever she deserves. She's getting the 200 in one base and the $800 tosefes. Everything works out according to Rav, and it seems like the Gemara paskins like Rav. Now, what is the machlokes Rav and Shmuel? Shmuel obviously disagrees with it. He says, right, the first line in the Mishnah, she produces the get, she gets the entire ksuba, the manu masayim, and the tosefes. Now, where do they argue? So, like I mentioned before, that the amount, the Gemara has a shaila whether ksuba is daraisa or darabanan. Rishon Galil says daraisa. We pass and technically it's darabanan. Now, however, there's psukim that talk about onus and mafata. They say kamo harabsulos, keshav yishul kamo harabsulos. Kamo harabsulos is a ksuba. The amount paid for a virgin is $200. The right you have to be with a virgin is $200. That's from the Torah. No one argues with that, and that is $200, 200 dinarim. So basically, Mido Raisa, the fact that you're getting engaged, you're buying the rights to be with her, because I said Mina Iris, and you're already Mido Raisa allowed to be together with her, technically. Mido Rabbanan, not allowed to. Mido Raisa, you're allowed to be with her. So already at the Irisin, you're already buying the rights to be together with her, and those rights are worth $200 for Absula, $100 for an Almana. Now, what happens if I write a ksuba? If I write a ksuba, so ksuba we paskin is the rabbanan. So according to Shmuel, right, everyone agrees that the main $100, $200 is midal reisa without a ksuba. When I write the ksuba, so according to Shmuel, I take that dindal reisa and I put it in the shtar ksuba, and the shtar ksuba takes over that dindal reisa, and the shtar ksuba becomes a dal reisa din. However, according to Rav says no. The shtar ksuva it's not a shtar chiyuv that you owe me the money like halva. It's a shtar raya. It's just simply stating the fact. Maybe even less than a shtar raya. It's maybe just the purpose of saying $200 is that it's only $200, and if I want to add on more, it's just show that the main chiyuv is $200. And what is Tosefes? Tosefes starts after $200. So I wrote for $1,000. $200 is for the main part, and Tosefes is $800. So, and also when the Rabbanan we hold the ksuva is written for two other reasons. One, that he should have all his property ready to pay. You can't set aside money, apotiki. You can't set aside money for a ksuva. And number two, also that all of his nechasim are mishuba. There's a lien on all of his nechasim that if he sells any of his property, she can collect from the mishubadim. So those things are derabbanan. Those Shimon ben Shetach was masaking. We learned earlier a couple dapim ago. He was masaking those things in the Mishnayos about 10 dapim ago. He was masaking those things. That is ksuva derabbanan. According to Rav also, right, the whole nature of the ksuva, even the Mana Masayim is only the Rabbanan. So therefore Rav says that if she produces a get, right, so that's enough. You don't have to produce the ksuva. Even in a place they write a ksuva, and there's concern, where is the ksuva? Maybe she'll take the ksuva in some other place. The ksuva is not something that makes you chayiv in the Mana Masayim. As long as you can produce they were married, which a get does prove. The get proves they are married. Otherwise, why would there be a get? So if she has a get, that means she has proof they're married, in which case she's entitled to the Mano Masayim, which is Odo Raisa, from the fact that he bought her virginity, he bought the right to be with her. So that is proven by the get. The ksuva merely it's not a proof that the Mano Masayim. You can't collect with the ksuva and the Mano Masayim, right? If you have nothing else to collect, if you're coming with a ksuva, and there's a reason you're collecting with the ksuva, and you can prove the get was lost or whatever, so the ksuva is a raya, it's a proof that he owes the 200. That the ksuva is only derabbanan. The whole concept of ksuva is only derabbanan. It's to prove the tosefet, to tell you how much the tosefet is, and to tell you that you can't collect with apotiki, and also that all the nechasim are meshubah to the ksuva, which is only derabbanan. So the whole concept of ksuva is only derabbanan. Maybe Shmuel holds it's daraisa. Maybe you wouldn't hold it completely daraisa. It's partially daraisa, partially derabbanan according to Shmuel. We don't hold like Shmuel, hold like Rav. And like Rav, it's only derabbanan, so therefore with a get you collect the Mano Masai. That's all you can collect. And the ksuva shows you what the tosefes is, and that's why the ksuva, if she has the ksuva, she's able to collect tosefes, but not the Mano Masayim, which is really owed without the ksuva. It has nothing to do with the ksuva. It's owed principally by the fact that they were married. He bought the virginity, and that is existence separate from the ksuva itself. That's the explanation over here in Rav. And that would answer Amana Me'erison, how do you know she gets the ksuva? Because according to Rav, the fact that you can bring 80 Misa, she proves they were married, right? She proves that he died and they were married. That's good enough. That's good enough to show they were married. That's why she's entitled to a Amana Masayim. Not because of the ksuva. Ksuva is independent. The Chiv Amana Masayim, the fact they were married, he bought the rights to her virginity, she's a psula, the right to be with her, if she's Almana for $100, and that exists without the ksuva. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.